Okay, guys, coming up next, 5 more under the radar. Started this video series a few weeks ago, and there's just too many not to talk about. So I'm doing a second video, follow-up video. Maurice is going to jump in with a few of his own recommendations. So find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to JoelTheNose, and as you can see here again at Osme Perfumery in Wynwood. And I've got 5 more fragrances following up from the video I did a few weeks ago, where I am recommending 5 fragrances that I think are under the radar, meaning even though they're spectacular and they're great and they're amazing, they don't necessarily get talked about all the time or hyped up in the fragrance community. So without any further ado, let me jump right into this. I'll start. Maurice is going to jump in, also give a couple of recommendations of his own. Yep, there he is.
Hey guys.
So, we did this video a few weeks ago where I recommended a few under the radar fragrances, and you had recommended some then. So, thought it would be a good follow up today because there's just too many, right? We always talk about this. We kind of forget how many great fragrances are out there.
Sometimes there's things that we forget that we probably shouldn't, but when a new perfume comes, the old goes in the trash.
Yeah.
So today I'm taking a few out of the trash to present to you guys.
Yeah, it's like the old, out with the old, in with the new, and the shiny new toy, and we tend to kind of overlook things. But that's the purpose of this video series, is to kind of get you back looking at things that really are worth your attention. Exactly. I'm going to start off first with, and I don't want to butcher the name, but this is Il Sentiero Diegle Day. And this is, of course, from, you can see there, Nobile 1492. And
1942.
Yes, that's what I said, yeah. Not 1490, or did I say 1492?
You did.
Oh, 1492. Yeah, I get that mixed up. All right, 1942. I've talked a lot about this house before. I think it's one of the best kind of, for your money, bang for your buck, great price point, quality fragrances, beautiful bottles, Italian essence. And this one, what I like about it, when I was wearing it, this is a really good summer fragrance to me. It's got that citrusy lemon top that just, I don't know, it's sparkly, it's clean, it's fresh. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it. I'll be honest with you, I hadn't worn this in a while, and I was, when I was looking at the house again, I'm like, this one I really, really enjoyed. So,
what's also interesting is this perfume is maybe the second most popular from the Nobile 1942 line. And even though you wear it and you love it, and fragrances are all unisex.
Yeah.
But this particular perfume is bought a lot by ladies. It's something that, a few guys love, but a lot of ladies, they really go for this one.
So there you have it. It's interesting. Under the radar for men, but not for women. Very popular among the...
Yes.
Well, I love it. So, guys, if you have not tried it, take a cue from the women and pick it up and smell it.
Cool.
Let's do one of yours.
So I'm going to grab a Roja. And, I won't go into, the details on the notes so much. It's more about how smooth this perfume is. So I typically don't love rose as much. It's not one of my favorite notes, but this one is a Oud Rose musk combination that just works on my skin. It's very smooth, very underrated, but man, this thing smells like $1 million.
It's interesting, right? I think that Oud and Rose, right, is a very popular combination. Yes. What makes, like you said, I think this one a little bit different is that muskiness that is a little bit more unique than a typical Oud Rose combination.
Exactly. Very smooth, very well done.
Nice. All right. That's a good one.
Perfect for date night.
So I'm going to go next with one that I kind of fell in love with all again from a couple weeks ago at the event you had here, your kind of grand reopening with the founder and creative director of Atelier des Ors, Jean-Philippe, and this was one of the ones that I hadn't worn in a while, and he introduced me to it again as something he recommended based on my tastes, Rouge Saray. And This is so sexy. Have it on my hand right now. I've been wearing it today after putting it on and deciding this had to go into the video because this is one that starts out with like this kind of sweet, almost gourmand-like opening of plum and cinnamon and some other delicious, sweeter, sexy notes. But the dry down goes into this amazing Peru balsam, this Gaiac wood, so it gets kind of smoky and sexy. Just a great transition from top to bottom. A lot of fragrances nowadays are so linear. This is not a linear fragrance. You are going to get a different kind of experience throughout the day as you wear this and as it dries down on your skin. So, Rouge Saray.
Amazing choice.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh, so you picked up some more. Let's do this.
Yeah, so I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm only going to introduce two more.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is Tango Oud.
Ooh.
And
The big gun.
For years we've been using Tango, and Tango has this crazy twist on amber, and now the oud that they're using here, it's kind of bright, but it's not. I love the animalic stuff, but that's not the type of oud that's using this. So this is a very welcoming, playful, spicy oud that I think just works amazing for summer nights. So this is one of my guilty pleasures that I think more people should really get into or get to know.
Yeah, especially if you're the fan of the original, right? It is such an interesting take on the original with that oud in there, and obviously that bottle, they really kind of upped their game with that one. You mentioned amber, so I'm going to go with a fragrance that you turned me on. You turned me on to this a few weeks ago, and when I smelled it for the first time, I'm like, this is. Yeah. I mean, if you are a fan of amber and you haven't tried this, I implore you right now to get your nose on it. And this is Ohira from Stefan Humbert Lucas. And you can see there, this is the bottle. Look at the juice, just so you can see that ambery, how amazing the juice is in that bottle. But again, I mean, you turned me on to this and saying this is one of your favorite amber fragrances. And once I smelled it, I absolutely knew why.
So big bad amber with cognac. It's very boozy to me. It's like if you're at a cigar lounge having a cigar, then this would be the amber that would actually go with your scotch.
Your scotch, your cognac, whatever you like to sip, right? Okay. That's
amazing
the one.
Stuff.
That's the bad boy, huh? All right. Let's go. You want me?
All right. So I'm just gonna go with a classic Lyric Man because this is, in my opinion, one of the ultimate perfumes. Again, I'm not a big rose lover, but when it's done right, I can appreciate the heck out of it. This perfume, right? I remember a couple of years ago, I was going to Tenerife on vacation for a wedding, and I was struggling because I have a lot of perfumes, and there's a lot of perfumes here. So I was thinking to myself, what few perfumes I can carry that I can put on, wear for possibly the wedding, and just for walking around, taking in the views. And Lyric Man was one because it gives you this very fresh, clean, uplifting feeling, but yet it's sophisticated enough for you to wear to a wedding. So one of my all-time favorite perfumes, Lyric Man. No one talks about it. It hasn't gone viral in years.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
This is the original Lyric Man from Amouage.
So many other, obviously, Amouage fragrances that get hyped all the time. It's one of those brands that seems to get a lot of hype behind it. Very popular among the reviewing community, but yeah, Lyric Man. Why do you think it is that people have kind of slept on that one?
I think sometimes when we have new upcoming releases, we have influencers that, they're bringing new stuff to us to show us what's new, what we should try. But sometimes we forget about the one that was new 10 years ago, but it's still amazing to this day. So it's just human nature to forget about the old and to talk about what's new, what's in your face.
Yeah. Well, excellent point. And that will lead me to my fourth choice. And this is going to be one from Ormonde, Jayne, and this is Zion. Zion from Ormonde Jayne really came out now probably about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
In those kind of orange ombre bottles. But again, this is one that it's actually, if you look at the notes and the composition, it's actually a very simple fragrance as far as what they list, you know, maybe 8 or 9 different notes, but just blended so well as Ormonde Jayne always does. They use their own special, I know, oil, perfume oil, that I forget what it's made of. Isn't it almost like from a vegetable?
I think so. Yes,
It's,
I think you're
but
right.
it's something that's, you know, just, and it gives, so when you smell an Ormonde Jayne fragrance, no matter what it is, like there's a DNA there that you know that's Ormonde Jayne, classy, British, just seems like upper echelon. And Zion, to me, was almost a little bit of a refreshing change from a lot of their typical fragrances, but I've always really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's also one of my favorites. If I'm not mistaken, the note of rhubarb is what that one kind of boasts. So it's kind of, rhubarb is very hard to work with. And oftentimes, if it's not done well, it's going to be a little bit off-putting. But that is so smooth and so interesting that when you smell this perfume, one of the first things you kind of think of is, man, I'm not sure what I'm smelling. It takes you back to trying to figure out, man, it just reminds me of a summer in France or a Jamaican vacation that I had 10 years ago. You're trying to think what you're smelling, and that's what a good perfume does. It takes you back to yesteryear, and this is one of my all-time favorite perfumes as well from the brand. That
Rhubarb note is distinct, and you're right. When you smell it right now, it smells amazing, but I wouldn't necessarily know that's rhubarb, you know.
Exactly.
You just don't know, like, what, because it's such a different smell. It's not something you typically smell. So that's why I liked, when I mentioned earlier, how they kind of went a little bit outside the box with this one, right? And that'll take me to my last one, which I've always loved, from Veronique Gabai, and this is Vert Désir. And again, maybe I'm being influenced because of this time of year. I really love to wear this one in the summer. And it's just refreshing, but it's my favorite mint fragrance of all time. It has mint, and it's also got a wonderful base of vetiver in here if you're a vetiver fan. But to me, this is like, it's one of those mint fragrances that wears so well on the skin. It's not going to be something that's super bold. It's not going to be something that, you know, projects your entrance into a room. It's going to be a fragrance that you're going to wear when you're getting kind of close and intimate, or maybe you're just chilling at home. You put it on at night, it's relaxing. You put it on in the morning, and it's energetic, that mint. And mint has that ability to kind of go either way. And this fragrance, to me, does that well.
I think, just to add, I think with this perfume, they did something a little bit unique. So they added lavender. So it's lavender with a particular kind of mint, which is spearmint. So everyone knows that spearmint is what they use in gum.
Yeah.
And it gives you this uplifting, refreshing kind of vibe. But imagine something that lifts you up in terms of how fresh and sparkling it is. And then the lavender, which is also used in perfumes to mellow you out. So it's lifting you up and mellowing you out all in one. So Vert Désir is a very unique perfume that is very well blended and thought out. Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Is that everything we have today?
Well, I hope there's some lavender in it. There may not be, but I think
there is.
I get a little hint of that lavender note.
Yeah, and that would make sense as towards the calming, you know, because people use like essential oils or aromatherapy use lavender for a calming effect. People use it all the time when they're giving massages, things like that. So that would make sense. Oh. And there we go. How many?
We just got to put on a few. I haven't put on anything today, so.
As we always say, man, spray big or go home. I mean, this will be
good stuff. It'll be on me for a while.
It'll be on you for, yeah. And I can already smell it here. It's amazing. So, thank you again.
Always.
Thank you. And I will be back soon with another video, and hopefully we'll do some more of these.
Okay.
And have a good day, everyone. Peace, love, and perfume.